Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a big bang.
Hi, my name is David and I'm going to explain the carbon cycle. It is not hard to explain it. Basically, the carbon cycle represents the constant flow of charge between the air, land, sea, and living things. Plants make food through the process of photosynthesis. They absorb the carbon dioxide in the air, and in the presence of sunlight and water, they produce oxygen and glucose. The carbon absorbed by plants is transferred to animals through feeding. When plants and animals respire, glucose stored in the plants and animals are broken down to release carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Through this process, carbon dioxide is released back into the atmosphere. As plants and animals die and decay or decompose, the carbon found in them are released back to the environment. When the fossil fuels are burned in power plants, factories, cars, trucks, most of the carbon rapidly enters to the atmosphere as carbon dioxide gas. The oceans and water bodies soak up about a quarter of the carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere. However, this uptake process is slow. Similarly, under normal conditions, the release of carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere from the ocean is also a very low rate. It is clear that the total amount of carbon in the environment remains constant. There is no formation or demolition of carbon in the process, and only involves the movement of the element from one form to another. Thank you.
In the carbon cycle, we have two important reactions, chemical reactions, that are respiration and photosynthesis, and one consists about mainly transforming the oxygen and all that substances into carbon dioxide, and the other gets the opposite, turns the carbon dioxide into new oxygen. As you can see here, there are the formulas, and one consists on transforming the other on the other way. So in respiration, we human beings get all the oxygen and new fresh air, and our lungs transfer them into carbon dioxide and other substances like water. But in photosynthesis, the sunlight, that's the energy for the plants, help them to transform the carbon dioxide into new fresh air. So the cycle is constantly moving, and you can have more air, and that's how it is produced.
Why is CO2 significant? Carbon dioxide is the chief greenhouse gas that results from human activities and causes global warming, also causes climate change. The 2012 average annual concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere is 393.84 parts per million, and the 2011 average is 391.65 parts per million. For the past decade, 2003 to 2012, the average annual increase in 2.1 parts per million per year. The average for the prior decade, 1983 to 2002, is 1.7 parts per million.
I'm going to talk about the causes and effects of increasing concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Human activities are shown by atmospheric scientists to be responsible for increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The major sources of human emissions are the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas for industry, driving on transport, heating our homes, and generating electricity. Humans produce between 3 and 6% of all carbon dioxide emission. Natural carbon sources produce much larger quantities than mankind, but this is offset by the vast natural carbon sinks that remove carbon dioxide from the air. The current imbalance is due to humans' activity. The effects: increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is causing microscopic ocean plants to produce greater amount of calcium carbonate, that it is also known as chalk, with potentially wide-ranging implications for predicting the cycling of carbon in the ocean and climate modeling.
We are going to talk about the chemical reactions involved in the global warming. This means that we are going to explain how the reactions that create the greenhouse effect gases start.
When you're driving a car, it has a kind of combustion that releases CO2, which improves or increases the global warming, because the CO2 task is to keep the warmth or heat inside the earth. So as the CO2 gas increases, so does the temperature. So it actually is one of the main causes of the global warming.
Starships are meant to fly.
We're going to talk about the chemical reactions involved in the global warming.
Priscila,
Talk about no sé qué, dirty. A menos que sea que.
entonces el CO2
se acerca y se mete en tu intestino. For example, when we breathe, we create CO2. That is one of the greenhouse gases, because we get oxygen into our bodies, and after a reaction, a combustion.
Ya, vas muy bien. ¿Qué te pasa?
Va para los bloopers.